Hey guys, this is Brenda from Brey's Ways. Tonight, I've been working on a new piece. I've been working on the background and I'm not sure if I'll just leave it as such or if I'll do something else to it. I am running out of time. I only have a few days of this week before I have to take off for the art show in San Antonio. So, anyways, let's get started. I used these paints on this art piece. I actually used some green glow-in-the-dark paint. Now, I don't know if that's even going to react or do anything special to the painting. I basically used it for the brightness of the color because I wanted something to pop in some certain areas. I used black, and then I used this avocado green. Any colors that you see here, you can use of your choice. It doesn't have to be exactly these particular colors. So I'm not even going to bother to tell you the names, But I used an avocado green, this really bright, beautiful blue. It's a cobalt blue. This turquoise metallic paint, and this really cute blueberry colored paint. And then, of course, they're all acrylics. And this is going to be the sealer that I'm going to use in the end. I just wanted to show you guys that when I used to do fluid acrylics, and this was like way back in the 90s, this was before, I think it might have even been popular on YouTube because I didn't really hardly see anything like this. I basically just used what I had, and that was basically I was experimenting with different materials like glues, and I was also experimenting, of course, with water, and I learned how to dilute my paints and everything to get like certain cells and everything, certain looks to my paints. And of course, I used paint manipulation with different items, like, anything from pencils to the back of my brushes, to palette knives, paper towels, anything and everything that I could get my hands on, straws and whatnot. But I just wanted to show you guys how this is turning out so far, and it's still going to be transforming overnight, I'm pretty sure, as it dries. Now, the first thing about doing a fluid acrylic is you need to decide whether or not you're going to manipulate it like big time, or you're going to just let it do its thing. And I usually let it just do its thing unless I really, really want something in particular. Then I will move the canvas around and all that kind of stuff. Now look, over here, you see all these areas here that look like blooms. At least that's what I call them. And they look like blooms at the end of stems. Now these happen quite on their own. I diluted my leftover paints in the bottles that I had to use them up, of course, because I don't like to waste anything. And I thought, you know what, I should just use them and do a fluid acrylic art piece, which, will help me to use up the rest of the paint that I have. And I'm sorry if my phone is causing a shadow, but I'm going to skim over the art piece. And see right here, this was all done on its own, if you can believe it. I did not manipulate hardly anything at all. I just basically painted an old canvas, so it has a lot of texture, and I just wanted to reuse it because it wasn't damaged and there wasn't anything that was going to show up on it that was going to, intrude with the design of it or anything like that. So I just took it and I added a lot of black acrylic paint. I just literally poured it on top of the canvas in swirls, and then I just used a sponge brush to spread it out evenly all over the canvas until it was fully coated. And while it was still wet, like really wet, I started pouring the watered down paints out of their bottles onto the canvas where I wanted them. So I basically just spread them all over the canvas where I wanted them. And then they started reacting with each other. And so you can see the little cells, and they look like fins, and, really pretty, almost gem-like looks to the paints. And I just love it. I think it's really beautiful. Look at these little blooms here. And it's all because you're working, of course, with wet on wet. And that's what it does. And, it'll start streaming and trailing into each other. And it'll keep pushing itself around. So you really don't even have to do much of anything. And if you are like me, that you don't care too much about cells or anything, if you see some, great, but I'm not much about cells. I'm more about how the paint flows within itself, within each other, how it looks like smoke, colored smoke, how it looks veiny, how it looks like streams, from above, how it looks like flowers, and, it just takes on its own you know, shape and look, and I think it's just beautiful. And right here I used a little bit of a scraping method with my palette knife, not much. It was just a little bit of interest there. And after I did all the green in the center with the purple and, you know, the turquoisey colors, I took this other section here, starting at the very end of the canvas, and I started pouring this beautiful cobalt blue with a light blue and some of the, oh, I forgot to mention, I did use daffodil, pale daffodil yellow, that one, to put on here so it would pop more and help the darker colors to pop as well. And this was more wet than this. As you can see here, it's a lot more, it's more severe, it's more there. You can see what it looks like. It's more defined, I should say. Whereas this is more fluid, it's more blending. And because the canvas has a lot of texture, the paint splits around the texture. And the texture was done a lot with glitter that I had basically piled on the canvas. It had been planned to be a background, but I decided I didn't want it, and I wanted to use it for this. And there's that glow in the dark paint that pops. I don't know what it'll do once I turn off the light, if at all. It may not do anything because I don't have a black light on it, so therefore it probably won't illuminate much, if anything at all. It may not. So I'm going to let this sit here overnight and see how it looks in the morning. If it'll be a big mess or if it's going to end up being something really, really nice. For the most part, it usually is something very nice. This also reminds me of the ocean waves. Seen like from above, right? But, yeah. And you see all the black. The empty spaces, which adds character. You see like little bits of that blue right there. Right there. And pardon my nails, guys. My nails are a total mess. I'm not a nail person. I usually don't even paint my nails. But since I've been doing art shows and stuff, well, I've been trying to grow my nails as well. So, yeah. So, what do you guys think? I've been trying to play with the light on my pot here, but it's not really... My phone shadow keeps getting in the way. But there it is. It looks like a mess, but it really looks really pretty in person. With all the pretty waves and the veins and the flowers and the blooms, you know, that are at the ends and tips of everything. So yeah, really pretty. So I guess I'll show it to you guys when I'm done with it, and you will see if yes or no I left it as it was, or if I'm going to add something else to it later. I will see what it looks like tomorrow. And I hope that you guys have all been well. I miss everybody, and I'm sorry if I don't come around often, but I have been painting quite a bit and just been trying to stay very busy. And my son and I are really excited about going back to San Antonio. He lives there, of course, but I am here in my little town. So, yeah. So, yep. So, hopefully, this ends up being nice in the morning and not too many changes will occur. So, we'll see. And I don't like using any mediums. First of all, they're just too expensive. And I have a very sensitive nose. And for me, varnish is a killer, but I use it because I love it, and I use Mod Podge and stuff like that because, well, I like it and that's what I use, but I cannot tolerate certain scents, and because of my nose being so ultra sensitive, like seriously guys, I'm not a doggy in the Chinese zodiac for nothing. I mean, seriously, I'm very bad. But yet I can tolerate perfumes and colognes just fine. Go figure. But that is just really too pungent for me. So, there it is. And I hope you guys, again, are doing well, and I hope that you guys will come around and comment and let me know what this little mess looks like to you, and give it a like and comment, and just say hi. And I do appreciate all you guys coming around, each and every one of you. So y'all take care. I know that I'm doing well. Just super mega busy. And so anyhow, talk to you later. Talk to y'all soon. Love you much, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.